Hey there, Clark Reid back with today's tech headlines. Please give us a like if you enjoy the reports by tapping the like button, and you can also subscribe by hitting the little bell icon so you know when each new report is posted. They might be bored silly a lot of the time in my case, but a vulnerability in Microsoft apps for MacOS has allowed hackers to spy on Mac users via the camera and microphones in Macs. 9to5Mac.com reports the researchers at Cisco Talos said the attacks are based on injecting malicious libraries into the Microsoft apps to gain their entitlements and user-granted permissions. Apple's macOS has a framework known as the Transparency, Consent, and Control, which manages app permissions and access to things like location services, camera, microphone, library photos, and other files. And they found 8 vulnerabilities. Microsoft apparently considered the exploit low risk, quote-unquote, but they did update Teams and OneNote. Right now, though, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and Outlook are still vulnerable to the exploit. The Cisco researchers say Apple could implement changes to their Transparency, Consent, and Control framework to make the system more secure. After a fairly substantial summer COVID wave, the FDA is mulling signing off on this year's strain-matched COVID-19 vaccines as soon as this week. According to ArsTechnica.com, CNN had gotten word from a couple of unnamed officials at the FDA. Last year's vaccine was green-lighted September 11th, but the summer wave this summer started earlier and hit a much higher level. According to the wastewater samples, there were very high virus levels found in 32 states and the District of Columbia. South and west regions of the country had the highest concentrations. Even though vaccines have dropped off, the good news is there is enough accumulation of protection that emergency room visits and deaths are not near what they were in prior years. The biggest thing to be prepared for is the winter wave, so get your jab as soon as possible after the new vaccine blend comes out. There was quite a bit of outrage when Disney's legal folks tried to use part of an online agreement for a reason to force a man into arbitration after his wife died from an allergic reaction after eating at a restaurant at a Disney Springs shopping complex in Orlando. The Verge.com notes that the House of Mouse was claiming a click to agree when the woman had signed up for Disney Plus for a trial membership also forced them into arbitration for the death in a restaurant. After quite a bit of an uproar, the chairman of Disney Experiences, Jacques D'Amaro, said in a statement to The Verge, "As such, we've decided to waive our right to arbitration and have the matter proceed in court." Disney originally made no mention of arbitration when the case was filed the first time. As recently as early this summer, Waymo was giving 50,000 paid Robotaxi rides a week, and that number has now doubled to 100,000. This is all happening in its primary commercial markets, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Phoenix. TechCrunch.com reports the info gleaned from the California Department of Revenue indicates there are 778 Waymo Robotaxis with permits in the state of California. It's not clear if some of them might be operating in Phoenix. We just reported last week that the service in San Francisco has extended down the peninsula to Daly City. There is already service into and out of San Francisco International Airport. I'm Clark Reid, and you're Technified for now.